Hello my friends, I'm so excited to be here at FABTECH today, and guess what? I'm on the Muratec Murata booth and I'm with my buddy Steve, and we're going to talk about, well, laser cutting and punch pressing, but combining them together. For a lot of our audience, you're out there in the CNC machining world, turning, milling, that kind of thing, even jumping into automation. Fabrication is something we're diving into more and more here at MTDCNC, and we're going to talk about that today. So Steve, we're standing in front of this machine, MF3. You know what? That's a whole lot of letters and numbers. Does it mean anything? It's got to mean something, right?
Yeah, it does. It means something. It's not just a bunch of letters we randomly pick. So what those letters and numbers mean is the M stands for motorum, which is the name we gave to our electric servo motor driven punch press, which we've been building since the early 90s. The 30 there is for 30 metric tons, which is the amount of punching capacity that we have. Which is actually 33 imperial, which is what we use here in the States. And then the 510 is 5 foot by 10 foot, which is the maximum capacity of a sheet on this machine with no repositions. And then the HL, finally, is the coolest part, which is hybrid laser, which is meaning that we're combining two processes. We're combining the punching process and the forming process with the laser, making it a hybrid machine. So you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and we're going to dive into that right now. And the reason I made that little joke at the beginning is because it is a bunch of numbers, but I did want you to explain it for the audience, because I would have just called it, you know, the Muratec Awesome or something like that. But that's why I don't name things.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So, all right, we're punching, we're laser cutting, it's all in one machine. For our audience watching, there is a theme across all of manufacturing, which is combining operations into one, saving floor space, and allowing ourselves to do more with limited operators and skilled workers out there. That concept still exists when we're talking about punching and lasering, but let's dive into what this world brings in the world of fabrication when we're talking about the ability to do all of it inside of one machine.
Yeah, so basically what we're looking at here is we're looking at a machine that can take two very important processes in the sheet metal world. Punching has been around for as long as sheet metal fabrication has been around, but has started to become a process where laser has replaced it in a way. If you're making holes and you're contouring, laser cutting has taken that precedent, but we still have forming, we still have other capabilities that the punch press is required for. So now we're able to do these things. We're able to incorporate tapping as well. We're able to do all these things in one footprint, and more importantly, without having to move this material from one process to the next, saving people, saving time, allowing for better throughput, for more predictability of throughput. A lot of things that this machine offers that give you that capability to just combine multiple processes into one.
Well, I've known about punching since the days of Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson, but I'm sure it came before that as well. When the original style, let's say two different machines were in a machine shop of punching and then laser cutting. Laser cutting, I would say, is a bit newer than punching processes, of course. Absolutely. What were some of the casualties is a strong word, but I'm going to use it anyway. What are some of the flaws and casualties that happen from having to move a process from one machine to another machine that are being reduced now, other than just people and floor space?
Yeah, labor's the big one. It's going to also take more process engineering time, because you're having to account for the flow of it. So where you position your machines, you know, you don't want one process, say like you're punching and you're laser cutting, and then on the other side of a 200,000 square foot shop, you've got your bending or your welding, because now that has to move there. What are you going to do?
Which I have seen before.
Put it in a car? I mean, you're going to have to move it somehow. So this allows you to take this process, position it in an area where it's in the center of other processes, which are secondary processes, because this is doing most of your fabrication work, bending and welding, and that's all necessary, but it's secondary, and it's allowing you to allow that circle to be completed, more or less.
I have to ask you, because this machine, while we're at FABTECH today and we're releasing this and showcasing this to all of the North American market, has been developed for years and years over in Japan, but you're bringing it here. So my question is, where do you think some of the highlights are through Muratec that really bring this to the clients and say, look, give us a look. The technology is around, of course it's around, and combining it is around, but coming to Muratec, because automation is in your DNA. What are some of the aspects that say, come check us out, come check our machine out?
Well, that's the big one. You mentioned it, automation. You know, our company, we automate factories, we automate gigafactories, we've got automation in our DNA. It is something that's been a huge portion of what our company does. And with sheet metal fabrication, automation or loaders, it's no different. We feel very confident in what we can design and engineer in our factory in Japan. It's reliable. It's something that we've put through the test of time, and Japan in a lot of ways has been our test market. We've been given the opportunity to find ways that this machine can be utilized in Japan, and now we're bringing it here with a lot of improvements that have been made from that trial and error process, and now we feel like we've got the product that works best for our market, which is going to be high production, high volume, get parts done as quickly as possible, and make that process as simple and seamless as you possibly can.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I've actually been into your facility in North Carolina, which leads us directly into the next part of the conversation is we can sell a machine. We can get a machine into a facility. We can educate everyone in the world about how it can work for them seamlessly. But things eventually do go wrong from time to time, especially if there's the lack of confidence of new technology, lack of confidence of automation. We want it to be simple, but we also want to be supported, right? I've been into your facility. I've seen the amount of storage that you guys have there, but let's talk about simplicity, ease of use, and the ability to be supported through service and support with you guys.
Yeah, so first on the programming side of things, which is always a big focus on customers when they're bringing in a piece of equipment, is can we use our software? Can we use do we have to change our entire process? The answer is no. You can keep the software that you're using. We will incorporate our applications engineers and our programming side to work with that third-party software. We do not have software, so we allow the software guys to do their work, and we just bring our equipment in to work with that software. Same thing on the tooling side. A lot of people have punch presses. They've invested heavily in tooling. We work with our legacy customers and new customers on our 114 Wiedemann style tooling, which has been around for decades, but we'll also work with the standard spring style thick turret tooling that they may have from another brand, and we build turrets to work with both of those designs, so we're not forcing customers to have to decide to reinvest in all that tooling, to reinvest in the software, to change their process. We want to make the machine work with their process, not the other way around.
Very, very well said. So we've educated the audience on why to stop by, to check out the machine, a little bit of the history and education, how the overall conceptualized version with the lean manufacturing, saving floor space. We've gone over the details, but there's an audience out there that kind of knew some of that already, and they want to see the guts of this machine. They want to see what really can be made. Do you think we could step inside, step around, and look at some of this stuff?
Yeah, I think it would be only the best thing that we can do to show what this thing actually is able to do.
Absolutely. So for everyone who's enjoyed this video, we have another couple videos, so make sure you do not miss them. Well, we're going to step around the side. We're going to look at parts, and we're going to look at the guts of this machine so we can show you firsthand what the differences actually are. So stay tuned for those.